Okay, so today we're doing a deep dive into Psalms, chapter 38.
Right.
And right away, this chapter, it just hits you. It's this incredibly intense expression of suffering.
Oh, absolutely. It's raw.
Yeah, really raw. We're talking deep physical pain, profound emotional anguish, and just this desperate plea to God. So our goal here is to really try and grasp the depth of that anguish and also the specific kind of hope that, comes through in these verses based on the source material.
And what's really striking, I think, is how the source immediately links that suffering to, well, to personal actions and what it terms divine displeasure.
Yeah.
I mean, the text says something like, because of your wrath, there is no health in my body. My bones have no soundness because of my sin. So presenting this idea where your physical state, this decay, and maybe a sense of God's judgment are all tangled up.
All seemingly stemming from guilt or what it calls sinful folly.
Exactly.
That's a challenging idea for a lot of us today, I think. And it really doesn't pull any punches with the physical descriptions either, does it?
Not at all. It's graphic. Things like, my wounds fester and are loathsome, or my back is filled with searing pain. I am feeble and utterly crushed.
It paints such a vivid picture, almost visceral, someone just completely breaking down physically and spiritually under this perceived weight.
Absolutely. And the emotional side is just as shattered. The psalmist talks about being bowed down and brought very low. All day long I go about mourning.
That constant mourning.
Yeah, this intense internal agony, a groaning and anguish of heart. It even mentions physical symptoms of pounding heart, failing strength, losing the light from my eyes.
Which could mean despair, right? Or maybe even actual sight failing.
It could be both. It really captures utter depletion.
So you've got this terrible internal suffering, physical and emotional, and the text often ties it pretty explicitly to personal wrongdoing or sin. But the pain isn't only internal, is it? There's another layer here.
That's right. The text brings in this whole external dimension, too. The psalmist feels completely alone.
Yeah, that's devastating.
It says, my friends and companions avoid me because of my wounds. My neighbors stay far away. It's just this picture of being totally shunned,
Yeah.
abandoned right when you're at your lowest point.
The people you'd expect to be there, gone.
Exactly. They distance themselves.
And it actually gets worse than just being avoided, according to the source. It talks about active enemies.
It does. Those who seek my life set their traps. They talk of my ruin. They plot deception. So these aren't just people keeping their distance. They're actively hostile.
Hating without reason, it says, and slandering him even when he's trying to do good.
So you've got this compounding agony, the internal breakdown, the social isolation, and people actively working against him. It's like a total onslaught.
Wow. Okay, so facing all of that, the internal pain, the external attacks, the abandonment, you might think the reaction would be to, I don't know, fight back, defend yourself.
I'd expect that, yeah.
But the psalm takes this really striking turn. The psalmist says he's like a deaf man, like a mute, basically unable to respond to these enemies. The focus just shifts completely.
And this is the crucial moment, isn't it? Despite everything, all the suffering, all the enemies, the focus goes entirely onto God.
A total pivot.
Yeah. For in you, O Lord, do I hope. It is you who will answer, O Lord my God. All the hope is placed squarely on, well, on divine intervention. There's still that confession, I confess my iniquity, being troubled by my sin. So that sense of personal responsibility is still there.
Right. It doesn't vanish.
No, but the plea, the desperate cry, is for God's presence and immediate help. Do not forsake me, be not far from me, come quickly to help me, O Lord my Savior. It's like a complete surrender of trying to manage it himself. All the expectation is on God.
So wrapping up this deep dive then, Psalms 38, as we see it in the source, gives us this incredibly raw, almost graphic look at suffering. Physical, emotional, often linked directly in the text to personal actions, to sin.
Wow.
And it powerfully shows that pain of just total isolation, betrayal by friends, and then active hostility from enemies on top of it.
A bleak picture.
Very. But the resolution, that kind of surprising turning point, it isn't about fixing those external things himself. It's about this radical, almost desperate reliance solely on God for help, for salvation.
Exactly. So this song presents a complex view. Suffering tied to your own actions, tied to what others do to you. But the way through it, the resolution, is found in this intense dependence on a higher power. And it leaves you with something to think about, doesn't it?
Well,
how does this ancient text, with its particular take on suffering, responsibility, and where hope lies, how does that challenge or maybe affirm your own understanding of those things today?